Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. I just want to wish you all a happy Mother's Day, whatever that may mean for you. I myself am not a mom, I'm a dog mom. Yeah, I have a dog and 2 cats and I don't have any children. So, just a little bit about me. Years ago, I don't know how long it's been now, but tried to have kids, me and my husband, and it didn't work out for us. So we did all the fertility treatments, spent our life savings on them, and just didn't have a kid. For years I was very depressed. Mother's Day was very emotional for me. I would be mad and sad and all these feelings all at the same time, and I've been learning to work through those feelings, and I know that whenever, after the last fertility treatment, whenever, things didn't go out as planned, I had been doing so many things. I'd been taking care of my body, I'd been drinking all the water, quit drinking, quit smoking, quit, all the things, and whenever that last time happened, and we weren't able to conceive, I just kind of said, who cares, and I just started, eating all the things and doing whatever, because I was so mad at my body for not allowing me to carry a child, and it was very upsetting, and I put on a lot of weight as a result of that. But I've worked through it mostly. There's still little things in my heart that make me sad, but I'm a dog mom, and I'm proud to be a dog mom. And speaking of dog mom, I got this new shirt. So this is the shirt, Dog Mom, but it's a size 14-16. And I know. It's a little bit tight. Yes, it is. But I get to shrink into it, so that's the fun. So over the next few months, we'll get to see this shirt, fit me just a little bit better. So pretty excited about that. Something to look forward to in the future. So yeah, happy Mother's Day to everybody. Let's go ahead and start talking about, I got a lot to say this week, so hang in there with me because, yeah, I got a lot to say. So we'll get there in just one second. So I fidget a lot, and whenever I stand, I fidget more. So I think it's better if I sit down in order to chat with you today. So here I am. I'm sitting now. Okay, before we get into my weekly weight loss this week, I want to talk about the Facebook Live that Corinne Crabtree did this week. If you're new here, Corinne Crabtree, she is the leader, I guess, of the No BS weight loss program, which is the weight loss program that I am currently doing. You can find it at pnp411.com if it's something that you're interested in checking out. But Corinne goes live every Wednesday on Facebook, and she does a little motivational thing, talks about things that might be getting in her way, and it's always on a different topic. So this week was about weighing in and self-sabotage, and she talked about self-sabotage in her podcast last week, and I touched on it in my video a little bit last week, but not very much. The most exciting thing that came out of the Facebook Live is that she's going to be doing a live virtual event on May 27th. I do want to tell you that I am not a paid sponsor in any way. This is just something that I'm doing, and I want to share it with you guys just in case it's something that you're interested in doing. I'm not saying that this is the best way to lose weight at all. By no means am I saying that. I'm just saying this is what I am doing. And if you're interested and you want to check it out. Did you hear that? My dog just sighed over there. Sorry. So, as I was saying, she's going to be doing a live virtual event. That live virtual event is May, when is it? Sorry, I had cheap, May 23rd, and it's going to be from 9 to 3. It is an event that you get to pay for, but you don't have to be a member of the No BS weight loss program in order to pay and attend the live virtual event, but it's all about self-sabotage. So if you feel that you have a problem with self-sabotage, then it might be something that you want to check out. One thing that she said in the Facebook Live this week was a sentence that we probably say to ourselves that can get into our way. I'm doing all the right things. And oh, I'm so guilty of this, saying I'm doing all the right things. I I just did it the other day. And she was saying that this can hold us back, that this can hold us back in ways that whenever you say that you're doing all the right things, you're telling your brain in a way that there's nothing more that you can do. Whenever there's always something more that we can do. We can always try and increase the nutritional value of the foods that we're eating. We can maybe do different exercises. We can get better sleep. We can just talk to ourselves better in general. So I thought that that was very interesting, and I know that it is something that I am guilty of every single time I have a pattern, a straight up pattern, that whenever I have a loss, that I typically self-sabotage, and then I'm going to have a smaller loss, or I might even experience a gain. It is a straight up pattern with me, and I do it all the time. So I'm really looking forward to this self-sabotage course to see about how can I examine what it is that I'm doing and how can I improve upon the things that I'm doing. So I'm looking forward to that. It's May 23rd, and you can find it. You can go to PNP 411. You can sign up for the free course that she does there, and then you'll be on her email list, and she'll send you ways on how to register. I have no idea how much it costs. I just know that it's going to be happening. So that is that. On the thought, I'm doing all the right things. If we go over that with the Think, Feel, Act cycle, which is a huge thing that she teaches in the No BS weight loss program, is that there's a circumstance that creates a thought. That thought gives us feelings. Those feelings create actions, and those actions give us results. So the circumstance is that you weighed on the scale and you had a great weigh-in. And your thought there is that I'm doing all the right things. And then that can have you feeling different ways. You can feel confident, you can feel empowered, you can feel thankful. There's many different ways that you can feel depending on that thought that you're having. And that those feelings can create certain results or actions, certain actions. So for me, whenever I think I'm doing all the right things, my actions, you would think that, you know, hey, I'm doing all the right things, so let's just keep doing all those right things. Let's continue on with this momentum. And for me, that means I get a little bit more relaxed. I go on this other side of the spectrum, and I'm like, oh, you know, I'm not going to listen to my hunger scale as much. I'm going to maybe go over my +2. It might mean that I back off on my exercise. It might mean that I relax my meal plans, and maybe my how I'm planning out the food that I'm going to eat for the day. Maybe I might start including some more of those junk foods that I'm trying to eliminate. I'm trying to focus on more clean eating per se. So that might be some of the actions when I have that thought that I'm doing all the right things. Well, you know, I can relax a little. I don't have to be so, you know, stringent or whatever it is that I'm thinking in my head. That can be one of the actions that I have instead of the action that I would think that I would like to have. It's my, you know, made up reality, my dream world, is that I think that, oh yeah, I had a great weigh-in, so I'm just going to keep doing all those same things. I'm just going to keep being awesome. I don't tend to do that. As is a result by my weigh-in this week. Last week I weighed in at 233.6, and this week I weighed in at 236.2. So I gained about 2.5 pounds this week, because I thought I'm doing all the right things. And then I stopped doing all the right things. Seriously. Oh my gosh. This week. What was I doing this week? I was in a funk this week. There was like a dark cloud following me. I just was down in the dumps. I did not follow the 4 basics. I didn't write my plans out like 3 days out of the week. I wasn't following my plans that were even made up in my head. I had a hard time drinking my water. Like nothing was happening right. I was going through the motions, but it just wasn't clicking in my head. I just had a really tough time. And I think those things happen. I think we're all going to have, you know, bad weeks. We're all going to have bad times in our lives, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be for a particular reason or thing. And I just think that these things happen, and that's what it was this past week. It was just, oh, I got in my head or something. I don't know, but I was down in the dumps, and it could have been a lot worse. Let's be honest. It could have been a lot worse. It was a tough one, but I got through, and I think I've, I maintained dedicated to me and to this journey that I'm on. I may remain dedicated to you, to coming on here and doing my weekly weight loss report. I really hate coming on and having to say that I gained weight. It bothers me a lot to do that, and I think it's part of my motivation. It's what keeps me going, is to be real and to be honest and say that, this stuff happens. But I hate it. I just hate having to let you guys know that I gained. I want to, be inspirational. I want to be motivational, but the thing is that we just have to be dedicated to ourselves. We just have to know that this is a goal that we want, and we have to move forward towards those goals. That's what we got to do. So yeah, that was my weight loss this week. My weight gain this week. One more thing I want to talk about before we go. As you guys may or may not know, I am doing this next 90-day challenge with Rachel Hollis, and the other week she was really talking to something that kind of spoke to me. She is a big fan of journaling. That is something that we're taught in the No BS weight loss course, is to journal out those feelings, journal out your goals, journal out everything. Just write it down, get it out. So Rachel Hollis is also a big fan of journaling. And one of the conversations that she was having, you can catch her live on Facebook every day. You can search the Hollis Company, you can Google that. But one of the things she was talking about was organization. So she was talking about organization. She does it in a much broader sense of things. She's like a life coach, I guess. But she was talking in a very broad spectrum regarding your whole entire life. But what I want to do is really think about how organization fits into weight loss. How does organization help weight loss? So I think about it in like 3 little different ways. One is, organizing your space. What I mean by organizing your space is take a look at your pantry. Are your healthy and nutritious foods front and center? Is that what you see? Do you have to go searching for the items that are less good? I don't like to qualify foods, but there's no really other way to do it. So things that are less good. Are those higher up, out of eyesight? Where are they? If they're like the first thing that you see whenever you go to the pantry, it's going to be a lot easier for you to grab those items. So organizing your space, organizing your fridge, maybe doing meal prep. I'm not a big meal prepper right now. It is something that I'm interested in doing. It's something that I'm interested in maybe focusing on later, but it's not something that I'm doing right now. I'm working through me, my household, things that are going on in order to get more into meal prepping, but right now it's not for me. But is it for you? Is meal prepping something for you? If you've got those fruits and vegetables cut up and ready to use, they're already washed, they're in bite-sized pieces, are those going to be easier for you to grab? Things like that. If you have your meals organized to where that all the ingredients are kind of next to each other for what you designated as a meal, it's going to be easier for you to cook that meal. Also, organizing your kitchen in just a way that it's more conducive. Whenever you have a nice, clean, organized kitchen, it's a lot more fun to cook in. It's a lot more fun to make healthy meals. So organizing your space, I think, is a very important tool that you can use in weight loss. Whenever things are organized, there's less chaos. It just makes things simpler for the person. The next thing was organizing your thoughts. So you can organize your thoughts for better weight loss. Somebody once said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right. You're going to find a way. So thinking you can or thinking you can't, these are just thoughts. Same thing as it's hard, I struggle, I'm addicted to food, food is my only comfort, I always snack after dinner. These are all just limiting beliefs that are getting in your way. And if you can somehow change those thoughts, try and think something different, then those thoughts are less likely to get in your way. So organizing your thoughts, you just need to, write them down again, get that journal out, write down your thoughts, write down why you think it's hard. Maybe you need to focus on why it could be easy. What could be easy about weight loss? If you challenge yourself and ask those questions, how can I make weight loss easy? Organizing your space, organizing your thoughts, organizing your clothes, whatever it might be, then it can be easier for you to lose weight. Talking about that thought, such as I always snack after work. If you were to change that thought to I sometimes snack after work, do you think that would cause you to snack after work more or less? Now, if you say that you always do it, you always do it. You're always going to do it. But if you say, I sometimes do it, you might find yourself doing it less. If you say, I sometimes snack, then you might only snack sometimes. So it's just a small little tweak of the things that we say to ourselves that can make a difference. Same way, if we're always saying something is hard, yes, you believe that. So that's what's going to be true. But if you say that I'm working on it, if you change that small little thought, if you think that food is my only comfort, well, is that true? Is that true? Ask yourself, is that true? Is that my only comfort? How about a hot beverage and a weighted blanket? Is that comforting? What else could possibly comfort you besides food? Food doesn't always have to be the answer. Food solves hunger. Food solves hunger. Keep telling myself that, and it does help in whenever I'm feeling certain emotions and I want to grab for different items. So organizing your thoughts. We want to organize our space. We want to organize our thoughts. And the next thing we want to do is organize our goals. My goal is to weigh 140 pounds. I'm currently at 236, I think I said. A long way away. So I need to organize my goals. But I can't just think about that long-term goal of 140 pounds because that's pretty far off into the distance. I need to organize my goals for now. So my goal is to get 7 hours of sleep a night. My goal is to follow my hunger scale, eat whenever I'm hungry and stop whenever I'm satisfied. My goal is to drink at least half my body weight in water every single day. And my goal is to make a plan that includes healthy, nutritious foods every single day, and then to follow that plan. Those are my goals. That's something that I can work on in the short term. Those are things that I can have success. I can have success drinking that water, and that fuels me to build on that and to create other successes. So if I can drink that water, maybe I can get my sleep. And if I can drink my water and get my sleep, then maybe I can follow my hunger scale. And if I can do those 3 things, then I can stack on it. So I can just keep building upon my successes. But if I'm thinking about that number 140 and I lost 1 pound, that's kind of hard to handle. That's hard to take. So instead of focusing on that goal, I focus on, what's the one, can I lose 1 pound this week? Can I lose a half a pound this week? What can I do to make it easy to lose that half a pound, that pound this week? So I organize my goals, organize what it is that I want to accomplish here and now. Sometimes we can only focus on today. Let's not focus on the whole entire week. Let's focus on what I can do today. And then if, today is too hard, say you went overboard at lunch. Well, why mess up the day whenever saving it's an option? You can make the next best decision at the next meal. No big deal. It's pretty easy. We just focus on what's my goal for this meal? What's my goal for right now? What's my goal for this week? Then we can expand upon it. So organization, I thought it was great. Again, like I've been saying, week after week after, I like to keep these different people in my head and speaking to me. That keeps me on task. I like to follow other YouTubers so that they can also help keep me on task, so I can cheer them on in their successes. And then I can, give them a virtual hug whenever things aren't going so great. That's pretty much, I'm just here to help, motivate, inspire, and show that life is real. One more thing that I wanted to talk about this week was the podcast. I'm always supposed to be talking about the podcast. This week's podcast was episode 160, and it was talking about the worry bucket. And I'm going to summarize this so quickly. Why worry about the things that you can't control? When we worry about things that we can't control, a lot of times that leads to emotional eating. There are things that we have no control over. What percentage of it can you control? Just trying. You can always put those worries away. You just push them aside. You can have a set worry time. This is the time that I think about worrying about these things. Listen to the podcast. Give me a, comment about what you think about episode 160, the worry bucket. I don't think I'm a big worrier. I don't think I worry about a lot. I do a little bit sometimes, but I'm not a real huge overthinker. I don't think so. That's not really something that I think gets in my way. So we did the podcast. We did the Facebook Live. We did the Rachel Hollis and organization. I talked about my terrible weight gain this week. So that's all I have for this week. I wish you guys great success this week. I'm so glad that you're here. If you're new here, again, I'm Deanna, and this is my weight loss adventure. I hope to see you back, and maybe you want to check out one of my past videos if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week. As always, it's going to be an adventure.